Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 3D Stalker Aquariums podcast. We've missed you. We haven't recorded for like 2 weeks, but ideally the recordings will still be going out normally, so you guys won't know. But I've missed talking to you, lovely people, and I'm sure I speak for everyone else when I say that. Yes, Cam is touching his heart, so that's what you guys mean to us.
Audio stuff.
Yeah, this is a podcast, so you actually need to describe
My
stuff.
bad. My
Yep.
bad.
So yeah, in the past 2 weeks, what have you guys have happened in your fish room / fish stores that would be interesting to people? Someone should talk now.
I
What
love
do
that
I
game.
have? I am just gonna say that nothing's really been going on in my fish room. Just normal shit, normal breeding, normal cool stuff, normal African cichlid stuff.
That's a
Haven't had
lie.
anything. Oh, hang on. Have we
What
talked
happened
about
with-
that? Have we talked about that other thing that I did? Yeah, we
What,
talked about
yesterday?
that thing.
That one
No,
time at
with-
band camp.
No, we talked about how I left the door open and tried to freeze some. We talked about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you
Yeah.
would do it again for science.
What's it been a lie? I moved my Julie malaria into their own tank. Is that one thing?
Yeah, that story.
But then I had 10 of them when I put them in one tank, and then I only had 4 left when I pulled them out. So I'm not very happy. Don't know where they all went. Never
Not
saw
ideal.
any bodies. Never saw any bodies, but there's no longer 10.
Oh, there was no bodies.
Have they been
That's
jumping?
weird. Yeah, they'd be jumping.
But that tank was covered. I've been better with my lids, so who knows? But I'm hoping there's
Hold
still
on,
a
hold
pair
on,
left.
hold on. You've actually got lids on tanks now?
Yeah. Well, I've always had
No
lids for all the
way.
tanks because they jumped out,
No
but then I wasn't
way.
using them. So yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping I've got a pair still.
That'd be ideal.
Fingers crossed. They're very cool fish.
Yeah,
For those that
they're
are listening,
awesome.
Cam's continuously chewing and he's not really paying too much attention. Finished
Well,
your breakfast
I'm
yet?
hungry. Actually, I have, yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Andy was probably at least half an hour late.
At least,
Well-
I think it was 32 minutes late.
Let's be honest, no one bloody told me the time that we're recording, and I
Just
thought I was
tell
on
you.
time.
Just the same time we've done it the last 6 times.
Yeah, we'll just take the
I
time.
don't know. I'm not a smart
your
guy.
mother. We're not your keeper.
Well, it's your own fault. But yeah, have you had anything exciting happen, Cam, recently?
I've been having arguments with my pumps that make my fish tanks move water around. Return pumps. There we go. Got there eventually. The return
Yeah.
pumps and the pumps
It's a bit
of
like
my
a shade
stock tank.
utility thing.
Yeah, the pump things have just been very average recently, and it's beginning to annoy me. So yesterday I filled up my oxygen bottle that we use to fill up all the bags before we send them away and stuff like that. And I've been blowing oxygen through the tubes or the pipes of the returns that haven't been working. But for some reason, I haven't quite got the regulator right. And so I blew it out and it just exploded. And then out the back, it exploded everything off everything. And there was water everywhere. And yeah, made a heck of a mess. And it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is exactly when you want things like that to go wrong.
That's crack up.
Yeah, so I had to pull it all apart. Subsequently, after pulling it all apart, putting it back together again, the pump itself is absolutely humming and water is flying everywhere through all the tanks. So I don't know what I've done or what I hadn't done, but it looks like it might have potentially fixed the problem.
So you were having issues with flow, were you?
Yeah, so the way that the sump's set up is it's got 2 pumps and they go into the 2 separate 9-tank racks and then come back through into the sump. And
So they
from
DC
day
pumps
one,
or are they AC pumps?
just regular.
Just
AC.
cheapies?
Yeah, just regular CQM ones and
No.
maybe an Eheim one. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked okay for a little while, but then very quickly I'd see that some tanks were just losing a lot of flow. and I wondered if it was head height or something on those lines. So
Are you running clear tubing or fixed tubing?
black tubing.
No.
PV,
It shouldn't get
PVC.
algae in it, should it?
No, like it's running UVs as well. So like I do have a small patch of clear tube from the pump that goes in behind the wall, and there's nothing in there. And then because one of the pipes fell off yesterday, like I looked down it, and other than the odd snail in there was no issues in that either. So I wondered if it was head height. They're both pumping what I thought mathematically worked out to be about right to continue to circulate. When they're flowing, they're fine. It's just that there's a couple that just stop on me, and that's the real issue there. And there's no rhyme nor reason. Like one of them's like a bottom tank, which you would have thought the water would go low before it goes high. And like one's a top tank at another end. So there's no real logic behind what tank's taking the water and which one's not. So yeah, but as of this morning, it still sounds like there's water gushing through all the tanks. So that's a better start than what I had every other day after.
So just got to blow it up next time there's a problem.
Pretty much, just put some more pressure behind the air and it'll fix it.
I still don't understand why that would work if it wasn't full of crap. Like it'd blow heaps of crap out of the ends of the pipes.
Yeah, and that's my thought. Like maybe there was some tanks get a bit of gunk or a snail or something in the inlet, blow it out. But it's the same tanks that stop, so it can't be that logic behind it.
It'd be dumb, but you could probably put a gate valve on them, and regulate them all. But man, it would be expensive and pretty dumb to try and do.
Yeah,
to try and put an inline valve on each one. Yeah.
Originally, I thought that maybe the return pipe wasn't big enough, like the nozzle hose wasn't big enough to go onto it all. But again, that'd be pulling it out a little bit, replumbing it.
Yeah. You should probably just pay someone else to do it.
Probably. But apparently I'm an aquarium expert and I should know how to fix my own aquariums. And
there'll be some sort of real easy logical reason.
Yeah.
I'm too tired to think of what that reason is, and I can't actually picture your system in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there'll be some stupid little niggly thing that'll take you 3 seconds to fix.
And it'll probably be related to, like you say, the water's pretty dumb, and it's just going to the easiest places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you probably want to slow those places down so that pressure can go elsewhere as well.
Exactly. Maybe a small little tap on one of the hoses to block that slightly off. Then it goes and it just flows better. It'll be something really simple. I just haven't got there yet. So at the moment, I'm going to work on. It might be not enough head height. And yeah, so I've got a bigger pump.
Head height.
Yeah, because on the theory that like it's 3.6 meter head height going directly up, but then it's gone up, but then it's gone across, and then it all goes down. Like it goes in a few different places, if that makes sense.
Yeah, how thick is the hose?
How thick?
It was like 19 mil, I guess.
That I can't tell you off the top of my head. It'll be in that kind of realm. It's not. It's not over the top in size.
Because obviously, the thinner the hose, the more losses you're going to have in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like the hose all fits over the pump outlets pretty simply, and it goes over the UV lights easily enough. You know, they're just clamped on like normal, so they didn't feel too big, too small. So it's not an unusual size. It'll be 19s or 22 or something in that mark.
But I mean, if you look at it in terms of like a sump, people run like bloody big, massive tubing up for their subs and stuff. I don't know what the actual. You'd have to look it up for the flow of the pump, how big the thing should be. But you'd think if it just pushes onto the bloody,
onto the right size,
the doodaker, it's the right size.
Yeah, and that was kind of my theory as well.
But you can only, as long as you've got something going, as long as you've got something going through all your tanks, you're in a good position because your fish aren't going to die. So
yeah, there's still most mornings I walk come in and the light, the water's still flowing. But then it's just like a juggle between some tanks that just stopped flowing from time to time. So yeah,
I've never done it and never been a fan of subsystems. So for multiple tanks, I think it's crazy. But so I don't actually know what's going on there.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
I'll wave some magical fairy dust on it and figure it out.
sounds like a plan. Well, I've not had too much going on recently. I've been rearranging some tanks, so I've got one clear to hopefully breed some form of jewelry, but I haven't decided what specifically yet. But the tank's clear. It's currently getting nuked with flubendazole because there's a bit of a trumpet snail issue that we were dealing with. So I don't know. Once that's done, we'll figure it out. Probably, I don't know. It'll probably just be the Dick Feldies because I like them and all the customers seem to like them. But I don't know. I do kind of like transcriptors, even though I get bullied about it from Ryan for liking them. But I do like a jewelry transcriptor, so
Fucking dumb.
we shall
fish.
see.
I don't.
They're cool.
I say that loosely, but I just think that if you're gonna keep a jewelry, why keep transcriptors when malaria or Dick Feldy or something is so much cooler? It just looks so much nicer. And
Well, because I've already got Dick Feldy and Mallory I can't get off you because you just killed them all. So that's the reasons.
They're in a breeding tank, but they're actually getting on too well. Like I thought that 2 fish would go off to a corner and then just try and murder all the other fish, but the 4 of them are just swimming around together, happy as. And I'm like, this does not make sense. This does not make sense. They even, in my experience with these fish, they don't get along. So yeah, we'll just to leave them alone. I do have one.
Hopefully, they're just being peaceful because you traumatized them by murdering half their friends.
I do have one more in Kim's tank in her classroom that I might have to grab.
Oh, well, chuck a transcriptors back in there.
The funny thing is, I wouldn't actually even know where to get transcriptors from anymore, and they used to be like the plague of the African cichlid world.
Yeah, me too. I wouldn't know where to get them as well, really.
I accidentally got heaps and then ended up giving them all to you, and then yeah.
Me?
I gave you a bunch. Remember when old mate came up with that shipping container, that IBC full of stuff?
Oh, I remember. They were like humongous. They were like sausages, yeah.
And I ended up with, because they were supposed to go to you, but then he couldn't catch them all out of that IBC, and then they ended up going to me because I was the end of the line, and then I had to bring them all through to you.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to see where I can come up with some more. And then the only other thing that's happened to me recently is I added fish to my tub pond. So I put my albino cherry barbs in the pond yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
So that's cool. They're doing their thing. Nothing has happened yet because it's only been a day, but they're settling in nicely and they're being nice and active and exploring the new digs. And they're killing all the mosquito larvae, so I'm not in the bad books anymore. So it's happy times. So hopefully,
is that a pond at home? Is it?
Yeah, it's like a barrel,
Yeah.
like a plastic barrel, and then chopped in half. And then the other ones, that's the only one with fish in it. The other ones have like one's got hydrangea, one's got a rose bush, and all this, but because they don't hold water. But my one that holds water, hopefully, is going to be cranking my little cherry barbs. And what else? Oh, I got a few plants in there that I want to.
Did you put your fry? Did you put your fry in there that you breed, or is this the adults that you kept?
Both actually.
You just chuck them all together.
Yeah, because actually the fry is like pretty much adult size. Like they're very close to the adults now, so it's close enough. So, and there's heaps of. I put a whole big bunches of Java moss.
Oh yeah.
And Rotella rotundifolia and Ambulia, and then I put those big rocks like big gravel rocks,
pebble rocks type thing.
Yeah, pebble kind of things, and I put some, just like rocks, big, like proper big rocks, and for like shelter in that.
Have you got any floating plants in there?
I got a whole bunch of rotundifolia floating, but I do want to get some Indian fern and float that, but I don't have any. But I'm going to get some from someone.
That's key for fry survival, I reckon, is floating plants in that sort of situation.
Yeah, Yeah, that's why I think
go to
the
the
Indian
top.
fern will be good because it's got such a big like structure for like shelter, the roots
Oh
and all
yeah, and
that.
the roots go down. That'll just go massive. They go huge. Those things.
Yeah,
I actually like it.
exactly.
I actually like Indian fern. I think it's a cool plant.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I wouldn't
yeah,
mind getting my hands on some actually for my tanks.
yeah. Me too.
The only problem with it is it's soft. You know,
Yeah,
like you move
And
it
it
and it breaks off.
travels
So,
terribly.
yeah, it's so soft. Like you move it and it just breaks into pieces. But then those pieces eventually do grow more. But I
Yeah.
can imagine if you tried to ship it, it would just mush itself up.
Yeah, I used to sell it and send it, and I think probably one in every 2 orders, someone complained that it turned up broken or smashed and stuff like that because it's so soft.
yeah.
And
It doesn't take much.
Despite knowing that, like these little bits are broken off, they're going to produce their own leaves. You got new plants. People weren't happy, so I just stopped selling it and stopped sending it.
It's still a
Oh,
pain
okay.
in the ass.
Yeah.
Like if you bought it and then it was all fucked up, like all mushed up, that would suck. But because I did, yeah, I did have heaps, not heaps, but I did have like that. Like I got one from summer and it was all mushed up, and I kept all the leaves and they were all growing in there, and it was going so well. And I was like starting to propagate it, and I was like about to start moving it to other tanks, and then that tank had a cyano outbreak, and then it all died, and I was so sad because I was like, oh,
Do you not have any?
like I'd actually, nah, I
Do you want
don't.
me to send,
Oh,
do you want me to send some up?
I don't know. I'll think about it. Because I was going to ask my customers. Because I feel like one of my clients has some in their tank, but I can't remember. That's been on my list of things to check for a long time. But
I found it's one of those few plants that don't like new aquarium as well. Like the tank itself
yeah,
has to be old and established, otherwise it's like there's not enough nutrients in it, or there's not enough something for it to do anything. And
yeah, there's too much going on.
Yeah, it just doesn't like a new tank. They need to be old and established before it really takes off. But once it takes off, it goes gangbusters.
Yeah, man. Plant. I used to always grow it in my axolotl tank. Like I had this one that was probably like the size of a dinner plate. Like and he would like sit in the leaves of it and stuff, and it was awesome. And then I moved the tank, and it just like in the space of like a week, it just went to mush and disintegrated. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what happened, but it just like all of a sudden, it didn't like die. All of a sudden, it just like disappeared and was dead.
For such
like, oh.
an intensely prolific grower, it is such a soft, weak plant. It's quite crazy.
Yeah, you got like a fine margin for error.
Yeah. But when it goes, it just goes absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I do want it.
Yeah.
I'm a plant guy now.
When you get some, let me know. I'd like some too. I think it's cool.
Yeah, man. Would you like some duckweed? I can hook you up with some duckweed if you want floating plants.
I can't grow duckweed.
No,
chuck it in the shell dweller tanks and that'll be right.
I chucked it all through my fish room. I think what happens is it all ends up going in the overflows.
Oh yeah. Oh, disappointing.
I've got it in a bucket outside.
But nice. Free food.
It'll overflow when it rains too.
Oh.
So
I'm sure you can problem solve that one. So yeah. Well, we may as well get into the main topic for today's video podcast.
We're not doing a random question. Where's our random question?
Oh, we can do the random question.
Where's our random question? Also, are we waving?
Oh yeah, we didn't wave for Cam's TikTok.
Okay,
all the listeners, wave at your screens. We have to wave. Cam has to film a TikTok.
I'm waving.
We're waving right now.
Audio podcast is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Still waving.
This is a long TikTok, man. We're still waving. Okay, there we go.
We're done.
Okay.
Sweet.
That was exciting. We've got that out of the way. That's good.
I am amazed that people still listen to us with that type of behavior.
Bro, honestly, same. We ticked over 4,000 listens the other day, so thank you guys. I'll quick interlude to say thank you guys very much. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of people, a lot of time. So thank you. We appreciate it.
If we're having a quick interlude, also for the people that are leaving comments on YouTube, we're not ignoring you. We're just useless. there is quite a significant amount of comments that are being, well, not a significant amount, but there's a lot of comments that we haven't replied to. It's definitely not because we're ignoring you. It's definitely because between the three of us, we're really average at doing things.
I'm trying. I've been making an effort because I keep getting I keep because I have to obviously change accounts to see it, and I keep forgetting. Not gonna lie. So apologies, but we're gonna do better. Me and Cam will do it, and then Ryan can just. I don't know. He probably couldn't turn the computer on to start with.
I don't even have any of the logins for any of the stuff, so I don't even know what any of it is. They only got the Facebook page because it's been loaded onto my Facebook, and I can just click a little dot and go down to it.
There was a couple people who were like specifically asking you questions, Ryan.
Okay. Well, give me the login details. YouTube? Give me the login details because I don't actually use YouTube for anything else, so I can just stay logged into that one and I can check it.
So you can be in charge of the comments replying.
I can be the commentator.
All right. So yeah. Also, so we'll do the non-topic question, but I just want to quickly say, for a segment you guys were so vehemently against when I came up with it, you seem to enjoy it quite a lot. So
we're just holding you accountable. That's all it is.
What's that? Oh, what topic's this? What topic's this? Oh, the random question.
No. Yeah.
I like the random question. I've always liked the random question. What are you talking about?
Well, when I suggested it, you guys talked a lot of smack, so...
Only because you didn't tell us what it was. You're like, I've got this new segment, I want to do it. So what is it? I'm not going to tell you. So then how are we going to know if it's going to be good or not?
Well, it's fun.
You and your little secrets.
Little secrets?
Ask a question.
Yeah, we should probably hurry this bad boy along. Sorry. Whew. All right. So... Okay, no, I'm not going to ask that one.
He doesn't actually have a random question. He's not. He's late. He's late.
No, I've got two, and I'm just not entirely sure which one I should ask. So, all right. Okay, I've got it. If you are like, say it's a Friday afternoon, your kids have been nice to you and everything, so you're going to get takeaways for dinner. What would be your go-to? Like pizza or like fish and chips or what? What's your favorite? Your favorite, not your kids, like just your favorite.
We do takeaways like stupidly here. So like,
oh yeah, this question's not going to be fun. You guys live in buttfuck nowhere, so
no. We've got a lot of takeaways for population in Helensville. We've got like 3 or 4 fish and chip shops. We've got 2 pizza shops. We've got 2 Indian shops. We've just got 3 pizza shops. We've got Indian. We've got Turkish. We've got everything. We've got everything you can imagine. We've got Thai. We've got everything out here. But we let our kids choose what they want, so we end up going to like 5 different places sometimes, and it's just stupid. And it
that sounds painful.
Money. It's just so dumb because what you do is you ring them all, and then you try and figure out which one's lying to you when they say it'll be 10 minutes, because they all say it'll be 10 minutes, right? And some of them at 10 minutes is actually 40 minutes. So, but you have to figure out which one's actually 10 minutes and which one's 10 minutes is 15 minutes, so you can go to the right place in the right order. Because if you go to the one that's 40 minutes first, you end up spending 40 minutes there, and everything else is, and then you're out of whack, and it takes an hour and a half to go and get the takeaways, and then you're staying within Helensville, like 5 minutes from home. So that's my story about takeaways, and I don't know how we ended up getting ourselves into that, but that is now the expectation of the children.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad system.
It was a fucking stupid idea. I don't know how we ended up. It should have been like, right, we're having takeaways, we're having this, choose something. So yeah, we're just making our kids fussier. But for me, I usually go for a Turkish. I'll usually go for Turkish and get like some sort of Turkishy salad thing or some sort of Turkishy kebab thing.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah, that's basically me at the moment. Yeah.
How about you, Kim?
My children are so incredibly picky. The options are basically fish and chips or nothing. That's not.
Can't argue with that.
but my youngest boy will only eat hot chips, so yeah, it'll be fish and chips just so he can eat something. Although he normally has his dinner before that anyway. My other children are really plain and boring, so like pepperoni pizza is all they'll eat, which is just ridiculously boring. So yeah, every now and then it'll be pizza or fish and chips, but my preference would be anything that melts my face off, like some sort of spicy curry of some description.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, mine would be Indian as well, so works out good.
I do have a question. Unrelated to fishing. I do like the dirty Indian too. But it's getting really expensive. Really expensive. So I don't usually choose it anymore.
Just sell more screens.
I'm trying to sell more instant screens. I have a question. I believe it's related to the podcast, but it might not be. That one of our listeners may have suggested that he's going to get a tattoo for a lifetime 10% discount.
What?
Is that?
So I'm like, what?
Apparently it's been suggested to you, Cam, and it hasn't been passed on to us. I don't know if it's a Fishroom. Is it a Fishroom tattoo, or is it? Someone said, I told Cam I'll get the logo tattoo for a lifetime 10% discount. No, I don't know. We could probably turn that into a lifetime discount for 2 shops if he got the 3 Idiots one, as opposed to getting it 1 shop.
Yeah, man.
You know.
I'm pretty much okay with this.
So
I'll do that. 100%.
I just saw the message in front of me that was sent last night at 10:30, but I was in bed. So yeah.
All right, that can be a fun little video, bonus video.
And if he gets it, then we'll invite him onto the podcast too. He can be an honorary member.
Yeah, we can do a guest episode, a special guest episode.
He's just had a bit of an adventure too that he might want to tell us about with relating to fish, so that might be quite cool.
I know who that is.
Can't be a member of our cool kids club if you don't have a 3 Idiots header from now on.
Yeah.
Just right in the middle of the forehead. That's where it has to be. That's the only location.
No butt cheek, and then he needs to show everyone.
All right.
Okay,
I'm down. If he does it, he can have a discount.
Yeah. I will definitely hook him up with some Africans. So
sweet. So we should probably get into the actual episode. We might need to do some adjustment of the plan because we've been going for a while and we haven't actually talked about the topic. So today's topic, I don't know how to sum it up in like a sentence. So we're going to do
if it's that complicated, the inbred one isn't going to get it. He's going to talk about it the whole episode. Then afterwards, he's going to go, I didn't even understand the topic. So you're going to have to be very careful here.
If he doesn't get it, we'll have to take him to the doctor because it's pretty simple, but involved. Shut up. So what we're going to do is similar to what we done the other day, a few weeks ago, where we were talking about the different tank sizes and then what we'd do with it. We're going to play a little game in a similar vein where one of us will say a type of, like a species of fish, say, I don't know, platy, for example, and then and then we will discuss what kind of size tank an Aquascape would do to make it look cool for a display tank, like in a house or some such. So that's kind of the game we'll play. It's like we'll play the other game backwards, if that makes sense.
Is this your surprise topic from last week?
Yes.
It's pretty lame.
It's not really that. It's not really as surprising and like mind blowing as I thought it was going to be.
No, I thought it was going to be like earth shaking. Good.
I'm actually
you guys are welcome to come up with episode suggestions if you want, but until then, you just take whatever you can get.
Yeah, I am not a very good. I mean, my only two topics that I've presented have been shot down. So yeah.
Well, we can do some of them next week, but they're not full episode. They're like 10-minute segments.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Well, cool. Let's go then. Do you throw out the first fish?
Does anyone have any questions about the format before we get started?
No, someone's gonna throw out a fish, and then we're gonna talk about how we would house that fish.
Yeah, and make it look cool and like aquascape it to get the best out of it and everything like that.
Okay, cool.
All right. So I'm going to go with one that is very popular and I think you guys will both enjoy to get some energy going. So we're going to start off with the cherry barb. And
Boring.
it's
That was my first one I was thinking of.
and it's dealer's choice whether you're doing like short fin, long fin, albino, whatever. Doesn't matter. You can choose whatever. But in general, cherry barb. Hit me.
Okay. I've got cherry barb. I've got it's probably like a 2.5 foot tank, so like 75 centimeters. So it's pretty big, but it's not huge. And it's got like blue gravel and a blue light on it. Okay, the albino cherry barb. So everything's got to be blue, all right? And it's got lots of that fake coral stuff. So like, and that stuff's all glowing in the blue light as well. And because they're albino, they're also kind of glowing and stuff. And there's a SpongeBob house there as well. And and one of those diver things with a bubble in it, and it goes like bubble, and it's like bubbling around and thing, and like crocodile as well.
The only thing I'd adjust is I'd put one of the toilets that blows bubbles out the top.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love it.
Yeah, I'm thinking a cool tank that's glowing in the dark for kids.
Yeah.
Mainly. And for cam and breed.
Thanks, man.
So I was thinking Ryan was actually just taking the piss, but for a kids tank, that'll be fun. Like kids will love it. Non-fish people will love it. So yeah, I like it. What would you do, Cam?
I would do exactly what I've already done in the shop, but on a larger scale.
You what, sorry?
I'd do exactly what I've done in the shop, but on a larger scale.
So imagine I don't know what you've done in the shop.
Well, I was
we're
just
on a
about
podcast where we should talk about it.
I was just about to explain it until you started talking.
Well, you take weirdly long pauses when you talk, so continue. Hurry up.
Is that a long enough pause?
This is really shit podcast content, just so you know.
I'm enjoying it.
That's all that matters.
Put it in a 6 foot. Put them in a 6 foot tank, and I would put, I don't know, 50 or 60 or 70 of them, just to have a nice big number. And I'd do black water, really heavily tannin stained, lots of cryptocorynes, lots of wood, lots of leaf litter, something along those lines. I'd find a loach to go in the bottom with them, and I would...
Coolie loach.
No, they suck.
That'd be cool.
I think
coolie loach would be a good combo.
Maybe yo-yo loaches, depending on whether or not they would do what I want them to do, because yo-yo loaches are quite cool. Or maybe zebra loaches, one of those two. And then because the tank's big enough, I'd find a slightly bigger gourami that can go in there as well. So
Guami.
Yeah,
that's what I would. Chuck a giant gourami in there.
Probably not a giant gourami.
Yeah,
one of the
makes sense.
One of the
like a 3-spot or something.
Ones. Yeah, opalines or something on those lines. Just
going for that. Different. Going for that Asian biotope kind of vibe.
Yeah. That is what I would do.
No, that sounds cool. I would do probably about a 3-foot tank, I reckon. Like not big again, but not small. And then similar to kind of what I have in the shop actually as well. With like have a good sized group of them, like maybe like 30, but have it so that you want kind of like a central space, like a focal point, and like heaps of stems in the back, like green stems, so you get the green and red contrast. And then what you get is like some wood and stuff in the middle, and try and really encourage like how the males spar with each other, and like show off in that. Because that's really fun behavior to watch. And then down the bottom, almost like not dwarf sage because that's illegal, but like something like dwarf sage, like heaps of that, where there's space for like eggs to drop. So like you're not gonna breed heaps, but like getting the odd fry survival would be a bit of a fun little kind of project or like a fun little behavior added, and really just keep it like pretty much just with them, like not really worrying about doing a community tank or that, just really focusing on the actual cherry barbs. And yeah, probably I'd just do only them, not even like bristle noses or anything, just a big group of them, and just really try and
What color
encourage
cherry?
that natural
What color
sparring.
cherry bulbs did you end up with? Sorry. What type?
I'd probably just do the normal short fin common variety. Because that's one that everyone comes in the shop, they're like, oh, I want the long fins in that. But like you can really like the short fins are really underappreciated, I reckon. Like they're really awesome fish. They get the same deep, vibrant colors, and they get the same like sparring behaviors and all this kind of thing. So I'd probably just go with tons of the shorter fin, and obviously they're a bit cheaper and everything, so make it a little bit more approachable. And just something easy like a I don't know, canister filter or hang on back or something like nothing. I wouldn't want it to be too crazy. I'd want it to be like a pretty basic but effective tank, and then just grow heaps of plants real fast. So yeah, that's my plan. So someone talk now.
That's
All right,
a
who wants to
cool
go
plan.
next? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
You go.
Sweet as.
I've got a list of fish that are sitting right beside me. So I'm
Perfect.
going to pick a random one off it, and we are going to go with GoldenEye
This is fun.
Nanocaras. What's fun?
GoldenEye Nanocaras. That is a
Very
random suggestion. I love
obscure
it.
Fish. They're a cool fish, though.
So, just quickly, can you describe that fish for the listeners in case there's people who's not heard of this type of fish before? What's it look like? How big's it get? How's it behave? A bit of a quick run through.
They're dwarf cichlid. They're pretty hardy. They're pretty compatible with a lot of stuff. In my experiences, they're not particularly aggressive. Males get a lot bigger than females from memory. They're kind of a long, elongated sort of shape, if that makes sense. Not like a round, they're more longer looking.
Longer, narrow kind of body.
Yeah, they're not that narrow though. They're not that narrow. They're quite a lot thicker, lot chunkier
kind
than
a crebensis shape. Crebensis type shape, I guess. Sort of longer. Yeah. So yeah.
And what are they like color-wise and everything?
Like I've got metallic blue looking type ones. So
nice.
Yeah, they're not. I wouldn't say in your face, bright and colourful, but they're not subtle, if that makes sense.
And the females
like interesting.
Females are a bit yellowy, aren't they? They're kind of a bit
golden, if you will.
Yeah, a little bit plainer.
Yeah. So how about you go first with this one, Cam, and get us started off?
I would probably put them in what I would consider a semi-aggressive community, but by aggressive I mean a little bit stronger community.
Boisterous rather than aggressive.
Boisterous. Yes, boisterous. Maybe some black phantoms or red phantom tetras might go well in there.
That'll be cool.
A lot of wood tangles towards the bottom of it, producing lots of caves and lots of sort of intricate sort of layout for them to swim through and be around with. Probably a couple of sword plants tucked around the back. Something along those lines. Maybe some cryptocorynes throughout the middle and some Java ferns, that sort of thing. A slightly more brighter, vibrant colour as opposed to a duller black water type colour. Just to try and get a bit of colour from the plants coming through and from some of the fish. Most likely a troop of corridoras at the bottom as well of some description.
Yeah. What Corey would you go for?
Now you're asking the hard questions.
Yeah, man, that's why I'm here.
Skunk Corys, I think.
Random. I like it.
Skunks are awesome. They're really cool little Corys.
A skunk Cory.
They were like one of the first ones I was like, ooh. that's awesome. But
So
I don't think I've ever kept them myself.
The silver and black with a black stripe.
Yeah, they're cool looking fish.
What I like about them is they all tend to sit in a group together and they all point the same way, so it looks like they're pointing in a direction. Which
I would have to say that would definitely be a candidate for one of the fish that would be most scary, human-sized.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
It looks just looking at the photos of it, I'm like, holy crap, that thing's cool, but it's also a little bit creepy. You know, imagine if
because they got those big ass eyes, is why I reckon.
Yeah. So
It
something along those lines would
look
be
a bit angry.
Where I'd be running with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well, I'll go next. I'd probably do I'm not the world's biggest expert, but I'd say like a 3-foot tank would be fine for these guys, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had them in 2 foot.
I used to breed them in 2-foot tanks when I kept them. But
cool.
But you wouldn't want to. I mean, you wouldn't want to do them in other fish in a 2-foot tank if you had a pair.
Yeah. Well, okay, 3-foot tank's fine then. Yeah. So I'd do a 3-foot tank, like one of those Blue Planet 150 liter tanks, for example, and I would do like white sand, but do it like deep-ish, like maybe like 8 centimeters deep, and then have heaps of botanicals and stuff like leaves and nuts and alder cones and like twigs, like the little twigs. Have like heaps of that, and then have those we were just talking about them, Indian ferns. So that's like the big roots like going down, and then like nothing else in the tank. So it's like a upside down forest kind of vibe, where almost the botanicals would look like clouds, kind of, and then the Indian fern roots would look like trees or bushes or something, and then like nothing else really in terms of hardscape, because they'll like make a little cave under a leaf or something, like that more natural kind of behavior. And then just like a bunch of kulu loaches, probably like 15, so that like it's one of those ones where you look closer and you see something. But in terms of the actual aquarium aquascape and that, like obviously it's going to be quite black water, but like keep it real simple, so there's not much like hardscape or big bits of wood or anything, just like little twigs and dust, and like I'm sure they'll dig little holes or like pits in amongst the leaves and all that kind of thing in the sand. So that would be my plan. So
okay, cool. Well, I mean, I'd just do the same shit you guys have done. That sounds interesting. I don't know. I'd do some like natural looking gravel, some driftwood, some plants. I don't know what plants, just some plants of some sort, and then maybe do some Colombian tetras or something cool like that, because I like Colombian tetras. I think they're real cool. And they get a bit of size on them. They're actually quite impressive.
Yeah.
They got a cool bit of color on them too, like that silvery blue with a bit of red on the fins and stuff. They're cool fish.
Really underrated fish.
They're not one you see full size all that often, like big adult ones.
The only reason I know about them was I once got about 10 of them for free off Facebook about 10 years ago, and used them for dither fish with my Africans, and they were just brilliant. They were so cool. I was like, these are cool fish, and they were big. They're big, good size. So and have some like overturned. So what are they? The coconut caves or something buried in the gravel, so they can kind of go and chill on those and have some babies and stuff, and do their thing.
Yeah.
No,
sounds like a good plan. All right. Well, what's your suggestion, Ryan, for fish topic? What African cichlid will we be talking about?
I was just thinking the same thing.
We need to do African cichlids, don't we? Because no one else has done one yet.
No, we don't. We absolutely don't need to.
Well, we've done 2 dumb fish. We could do a cool fish.
Why do a 3rd dumb fish then?
Well, I can suggest something then, boy.
What's that?
Put in your place.
What am I going to do? I don't know what to do.
Well, it's lucky you didn't know this question was coming and didn't prepare anything.
I was going to go with something really dumb, like a zebra danio or something like that. What would you do with a zebra danio? You know,
All right, I like it. Yeah, that can be your suggestion. I like it. It's different.
and it's a long fin zebra too.
Oh, see, that's
Okay, a
completely
long
thrown
fin
off what I was about to say.
normal, a long fin normal, not a leopard or anything like that. It's a long fin normal zebra.
All right, I like it. Who wants to go first?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're probably
They
wrong.
come
Let's be honest.
from really high flowing environments.
I believe so.
The
Yeah,
long fin one would probably struggle a little bit with that, to be honest.
that's what I was going to say. But yeah, they've the zebra danio as a concept, I believe, is like a little fast flowing stream type of thing.
Yeah.
Inundated
look at-
rice paddies and marginal pools and ditch adjacent to them, with silty kind of turbid water with very little movement. There we go. You guys
Oh.
are both 100% wrong.
Okay.
Sounds
During
about
the
right.
dry times of the year, they spend their time in calm, shaded areas of streams with rocky or gravel-strewn substrates.
Oh, nice.
They come from
Well,
Bengali.
Nice.
There goes what I was going to do
It's
then.
specifically standing water and slow-moving water.
Classic.
So
Yeah,
Alright,
there
there
goes
you go.
what I was going to do.
Would you like me to go first, Cam?
Yeah. Now I've got to change
All
my
right.
mind a little bit.
So what I would do would be kind of weird and kind of similar to my old one, my last suggestion, but a bit different. So, the suggestion before. What I'd do is have don't need too big of a tank, like a 2-foot tank maybe. So like a Blue Planet 70-liter kind of thing. And what I would do is I'd have do a layer of Dalton's aquatic soil or something, decently thick, maybe I don't know what's that, 5 centimeters thick, and then another 5 centimeters, fluorite black sand or something like that kind of grit, and then I'd have planted in that heaps of lucky bamboo, maybe in that size tank, maybe 10 lucky bamboo plants, and obviously with this tank has no lid, and then in between that have heaps of not dwarf sage because that's illegal in New Zealand, but dwarf sage, something like that,
Is it
It's not
illegal in
little
New
chain
Zealand?
sword.
It's illegal in
in Auckland. Sort it out.
Well, it's illegal in
There's more
And
Auckland.
is it
So
is it
Pass it
actually
on back.
illegal in Auckland? Because I can't even find it on the MPI website. I don't even know anymore.
it is. It's not MPI. It's the Auckland Council website.
Oh, the Auckland Council website. But I've been on the pest plants thing, and the only thing I can find on there is eelgrass, which is obviously
Oh no,
Dallas.
it is on there. It is
Okay.
definitely on there. Because I get audited every now and then for it, by the council. But yeah, some sort of little chainsword. Maybe we can use Helanthium latifolius or something then, like a chainsword, and then just have 15 zebra danios going around, and then a group of ottocinclus as well in the tank. So you could see them zooming around between the bamboo and the danios, and then you look closer and there's a similar, obviously with black and white stripes, but a bit different, little ottos attached to a piece of bamboo in there, and then everything will be growing really fast and it'll be real lush and quiet. I reckon that'd be really cool. And yeah, hopefully the bamboo will be growing crazy. And what else? Yeah, that's probably about it. But that's my little plan, this little kind of Zen garden almost. So yeah,
That's cool.
what do you think
I like
about
that
that?
idea. I like that idea.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah,
I've drawn
that's
a
my
picture.
plan.
I've drawn
You've drawn a
in that.
picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, show us the picture and then describe the picture.
This is my
Yeah, you're
pretty
gonna have to
picture.
describe it.
That's my pretty picture.
Wow, you are terrible at drawing, man.
Okay, well, the picture does not add any.
Yes, I am terrible at drawing, but I drew
There
that
is-
picture in the 2 minutes that you were talking. So
There is no sign of intelligent life here.
All right,
So
describe
I would
your
do
picture.
I would do a shallow tank for fun, like a really shallow tank. Looking into it on the right hand side, I'd do rounded boulder type rocks towards the front, and then towards the bank, I was thinking Cypress halphili, which I think from memory is quite a long, elongated plant going up. So very similar to that lucky bamboo type vibe that you were doing.
Yeah.
And then from about 2/3 of the way across on the left hand side, a lower a lower plant. Again, probably in a similar vein that you're looking at, but then leave that sort of 3/4, 2/3 of the tank fully open. I would look at possibly having some palm fronds floating at the top, so that'll slightly tint the water a little bit, also providing a bit of shade. And I might put something like Monstera growing out the top to try and get that in and out vibe going on with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whether if the Monstera is growing in the water or behind it, I'm not entirely sure just yet. And I was umming and ahhing about keeping it only longfin zebradanios, or if I would also put some hillstream loaches in there as well to play around with the rocks and the boulders and stuff like that.
Yeah, hillstream loaches would be a cool option.
I'd like to say it'd be 4 foot long by 2 foot wide, so it's got a decent footprint and maybe 1.5 foot high. So it's quite a low looking tank, like a real low boy.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. And those hillstream loaches, if you did that, you could obviously leave it unheated, like room temperature water would be heaps. But no, that sounds like a cool idea.
Maybe
that'd be a real like.
Maybe backup heater set to 20 degrees if you live somewhere cold and have an old shitty house.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah.
So
but no, that sounds cool.
Work around with.
That's like you could use one of those tanks like that you see in like saltwater shops, like the coral tables.
Yeah, the
like you could use one of those. Use one of those type tanks. Yeah. Oh, I like it. What do you got? What do you got for us, Ryan?
Just put some zebradanios in a tank and then done. Job done. So
away we go, eh?
The problem with me is the zebradanios that live right up the top of the tank, so you'd want something in the middle and the bottom, wouldn't you? And I'm trying to think of what would live in the middle of the water and chill down there. And not, I was thinking angels, but then angels might eat danios, They eat zebradanios eventually. So I don't know if that's such a
they
good
probably
choice.
would.
So I am struggling with that. What I in the middle? I was thinking a guami, but they go up the top too. So maybe a kissing guami, maybe a couple of kissing guamis, because they get in the middle, don't they? And they suck on the glass and stuff, and they do weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they would eat the zebradanios.
They get quite large.
Oh well, there goes my story. Yeah, I got nothing for this one. I just threw it out there because I thought it would be a dumb fish, but I actually quite like them. So yeah, they're
all right.
Yeah, that's me.
Sweet.
I got nothing for zebradanios.
Well, that is not very helpful. You're not very good at this game.
No, this game kind of sucks. Fits for boring fish. But I threw out one that I thought you guys would enjoy.
Well, I did, and I think it's one that the listeners will enjoy. So,
also more importantly, they aren't allowed in the country anymore. So people do need to keep them, or we'll could potentially lose them. So
they can't be imported anymore. But we're good to go with the ones that's already here.
Existing stock is okay, but So it would be cool to actually breed them. Maybe that'll be my tank. I'll set up a breeding tank for them. Put the marbles on the bottom because they egg scatterers, very shallow water. And then you move them. Breed and the mornings, move them to another tank,
That'd be a fun little project because they're not a hard fish to breed or anything like that. So that'll be a good one if you're wanting to start breeding. Like maybe you're like a young kid or a newer hobbyist or something, but you're wanting to get a little bit more serious. Then cranking out some zebradanios would be a good idea. And I mean, as we said, they're not the most like there's not a ton of places to get them, so if you can become the Danio guy, that would be cool.
Let's see if you can get some celestial pearl Danios too to add to the mix.
Yeah, man.
Guy or girl.
Yeah, man.
Now, guy is a gender neutral term, isn't it? Didn't we determine that guy is a gender neutral term?
Guys is gender neutral. Guy is still referring to a male.
Apologies.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
It could be an us, they, them as well.
Could be.
Can we stay on topic, please? So we got the next what would you what would you call it? Subject. Topic.
Fish
maybe? Or animal.
Fish.
Animal.
No axolotls. No axolotls.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to do that to you
Axolotls are
because
banned. Axolotls are banned.
I'm not going to do that to you because you guys will just start giving out shitty information and then we'll get in trouble. Sorry, no comment. So next question. Mate, that's too
What?
early in the morning for this. Yes, next fish. Thank you. I appreciate that. So next one is one that you can choose whatever color variety you like, but we're gonna go with my favorite probably fish, the Oscar. So hit me, baby.
Hit me,
One
Someone.
baby,
time.
one more time.
Oh
was a
baby,
fun one.
baby.
Oh no. Oh no. We're not doing
I don't know
that.
if. No, I think we need to be behind a paywall to be singing. Otherwise, we'll get copyright striked.
Oscar.
Okay, anyway,
'Cause that's how good I am.
An Oscar. So is this a single Oscar or a multiple Oscar? Or
Dealer's
does it matter?
choice. Can be whatever you want. Can be whatever color you want. But the subject is the Oscar. So
So I'm thinking
what you do with it is your choice.
I'm thinking a normal tiger Oscar in a probably like a 4x2 foot tank, just one. And
Yeah,
it's like the water puppy of the house, and the substrate is just like basically real boring stuff, just like some rocks and stuff, and because Oscars will destroy everything and dig up all the plants and that. And this thing is like he's like the dog of the house, and they have like you have like little those what are those silly bugs that you guys used to have, the scorpions and all that sort of shit, and everyone feeds them that, and it has like a name. Its name's like Ollie the Oscar. That's his name. He's Ollie the Oscar, and he
I like it.
and he is just the focal point of the lounge, and he watches TV with people and bites people and splashes people and does Oscar-y shit
Yeah,
and sulks
I
when
like
he doesn't
it.
get any attention.
That's Oscar shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I like it. That's like one to get even non-fish people involved.
Yeah, and the feeding is the key thing with that, like giving them treats and shit, and you know
Yeah,
you can
yeah, I
train them
like it.
to do stuff like jump for food and stuff, but obviously make sure you got good lids so they don't jump for food out of the tank.
Jump all the way out of the tank, but yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. All right, what do you reckon, Cam?
This is really not a good place to be recording video in the mornings because the sun is so intense.
Well, it's lucky we're recording an audio product.
Yeah. But a lot of people do watch it on a video platform.
Yeah, but I mean, at least they're only missing your ugly head. That shine. So it's all the sun coming through the window. That's how bright it is. The reflection off your forehead normally.
Okay.
So
Look at that. See, I get it.
yeah. If only you had hair, eh?
Yeah. So look at the sun. Look at that. That's awesome.
It makes you look like Jesus.
Oh, you do it.
All right, come on, Cam. Save the segment.
I would like to run a 6x2x2. I would like to make it a dirty, silty type bottom.
Yep.
I'd like to say that I'm going to put 5 Oscars in there.
5 Oscars.
Yep, 5 Oscars. And I'm going to put some cactus plecos in the bottom.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to do 6x2x2 with 5 Oscars, and I'm going to leave it pretty much empty other than some big pieces of wood for them to sort of hang around with.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to do.
And I assume substrate. What kind of substrate we're looking at?
I'll do some sort of a sandy mix of gravel sort of thing. Nothing too intense. Enough for them to dig and spit around everywhere, but not be too obnoxious. Just a natural.
Too much of a pain,
kind
yeah.
of color. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I would probably do a. You what? Sorry.
Just a basic vibe.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I'd probably do that 6x2x2 size, or maybe a little bit, like at least 6 foot in length. Maybe the front to back depth and top to bottom height doesn't need to be as much, but definitely 6 foot. And what I'd do is I'd have one red Oscar, so not the red tiger, but like the red, and do like fine white silica sand for the substrate, and have a group of geophagus in there. I don't know exactly, probably either Jurapari or Tapos, the redhead Tapos, and have like the big Oscar kind of be like the boss of the whole thing, and then like maybe like 6 geos just like cruising around doing their sand sifting type thing every day, and then yeah, that's probably about it. Maybe have a big common pleco, like a kind of uncomfortably large common pleco hanging around, just because you don't really see them big and well looked after in that. So that would be cool. Like it'd be one that you've rescued from some terrible house, so you can get that. But really have the Oscar being like the big kahuna, the big boss, and then everyone else kind of just like going about their business. I think that'd be quite fun and quite simple but effective. Like maybe a few like spider wood pieces, like looking like tree roots coming down in one corner, but nothing major. Really just focusing on the big open space that they can make the most of.
Cool.
So yeah,
Sounds usable.
Yeah, man.
Usable.
all right. Well, you go next, seeing as Ryan has disappeared.
So I'm going to go with silver hatchet fish.
Random.
Yeah.
So can you give me a quick rundown on what a silver hatchet fish is and what they look like and all that kind of thing for the listeners?
So
Please?
they are a full-on top-dwelling fish. They spend all their life at the top of the aquarium. They are tetra, to my understanding. The top's quite flat, and then the bottom underneath their belly curves like a half circle sort of thing. They're quite a weird looking shape.
Like a hatchet, if you will.
I was just going to say almost like a hatchet.
Yep.
Yeah, they're quite slow and still moving fish around the top. They don't like a lot of turbulence. They want it to be nice and calm and relaxed. As the name suggests, they're more of a silver, naturally sort of colorations as opposed to brightening, intense colors. So, yeah. Smaller mouths. Yeah. So that's what I would work with. And I think the tank I'd put them in would be like a dual trigon or a corner curved front aquarium for something a little bit different.
Yep.
I think the dual trigons, you can get them in 350 or 400 litres or something like that. So something on those lines. And saying that, you might not be able to see them at the top because they've got that surround at the top. So they might make it hard to see.
Just fill it down a little bit less, I guess.
Yeah. Or we'll just chip off the surrounding so you can see them at the top. But yeah, something along those lines.
Boom. Problem solver.
Yep, look at that. I want to have wood coming downwards. So like fallen tree roots falling down, sort of lots of sort of open spaces through it like that. I would match them with probably flame tetras at this point. Bit more feisty throughout the middle, bit of activity, a bit of action, but they shouldn't bother each other from top to bottom. It will be a proceed with caution to start with. I'll go with them. And possibly a few angelfish, probably the black and silver striped angels, the bog standard ones, or if I'm feeling really exotic, I might go for some wild type discus. I'm trying to keep this as natural as sort of possible. And then may or may not have T-bar cichlids at the bottom, a pair of them to kind of fill all the gaps through, and then a group of corridors at the bottom. But the whole vibe would be a real natural, nothing really intense coloration, just a real what you'd kind of expect to see in the
nature
wild.
vibe.
Yeah, like a golden white sand at the bottom, some leaves, and then maybe some some plant roots via Indian fern or via some plants hanging from the top, dropping into it type of vibe.
Yeah.
Low, slow flow, letting the fish kind of shine in there.
Very like golden, quiet and laid back.
Yeah, mild to golden, tan and water, nothing too drastic. Yeah, that's kind of where I'd go with that.
Yep. Well, I like it. For me, I'd probably go sort of similar, but sort of different. So I'd have like, also, so I'm not that familiar with like how to look after them and that. So if I say anything bad, call me out. But yeah, I'd say like, probably like a 2 foot tank, but maybe a little bit bigger, like that 2.5 size that we were talking about before. And I'd have it only like half filled, so you got like heaps of open because they're big jumpers, from what I imagine. Like they like jumping and trying to catch stuff. So I'd have it half filled, and then have like the ability to like put houseflies or not houseflies, like those little kind of flies in there. Like what would they be, like the fruit flies and like sand flies and stuff like that. Like I don't know how you'd catch them or whatever, but catching a bunch of these little flies and for them to jump, and then having
you can culture the wingless fruit flies.
yeah, but you'd kind of want them to have wings. You'd want them flying around in that, like all these gross little bugs.
Just yeah. Okay, carry on.
But yeah, having all these gross little bugs flying around the top, and then having like plants and stuff coming out, like I don't know, like a couple big peace lilies or something. And then underwater, having it being like a real kind of minimal but open space. So maybe like a big rock, a couple of rocks in the middle, and then space around it for the hatchets to go around, and then like pairing them with something like a Bolivian ram and like panda cories or something like that. So like some more interesting stuff, like not maybe the most active or colorful, but like real interesting stuff to watch, and then really trying to like just let them jump and go crazy. Like you'd still want a lid on the top, but having space where you can like just be sitting there and then watch them launch themselves out and try and catch the flies and stuff like that. I think it'd be quite funny, quite fun. So yeah, that would be my plan.
Okay, cool. I was basically going to suggest the same thing, but bigger and lots of driftwood, and maybe going like into a big plant wall.
Oh yeah.
Go like but have the tank like the tank's like 4 foot by 3 foot type thing. Like it's massive and it's quite deep, but only third full.
Yeah.
So you have to have a top on it, and it's just like going into like a big plant wall, going up the wall or something, and just hatchets and angels, similar to Cam's idea. I like that idea. Obviously, if you're feeling bling bling, you buy some ultrams, but if you're feeling like me and a cheap ass, you just buy some nice silver wild type angels that look cool too.
Man, that's a massive tank. 4 foot by 3 foot's huge.
Yeah, probably wouldn't need to be by 3 foot, maybe 4 foot by 2 foot. It doesn't need to have that big footprint, but the tank needs to be tall enough too that you can fill it enough for the angels to have enough space to sort of cruise around in, but also have like at least a foot of clearance for the top so the hatchetfish don't jump out because it's open top tank. So yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah. Oh no, sounds like a good idea. I like it. All right. So what's your next? Should we do one more suggestion, eh?
Yeah.
So what's your last? You'll finish us out, Ryan, with the best suggestion we've had so far, the best topic. So yeah.
Topic is this topic is actually sucking. But anyway.
Well, Ryan just messaged that he's running out of time. So do you want to wrap it up then?
Well, I've got to get my son up and get him to school, so I am running out of time because someone was half an hour late. That's why we were starting early. Remember?
Well, someone should probably let me know next time, and I'll be here on time.
Maybe someone should suggest a fish so we can get this over and done with then.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to suggest. Do we have to suggest stuff that's in the country? Of course we do.
Yes.
Otherwise it's kind of stupid. What about? This is not something that I've done, so I don't know. But blue Zaire frontosa.
Oh yeah, I like it. I'll go first.
And I know that's something you both like, and it's not
a
Malawi. So there you go.
Loophole. Yeah. So I'd do them. I'd do like, you'd just want some big old rocks, but like really big, like problematic to get in this big tank. So it'd be like probably like a 2.5 meter tank, and then some like problematically large rocks, and then just like those real gloomy kind of pendant lights.
Everyone say hi to Kim. She's not hiding very well.
All right. Well, if you're on the podcast, sucks for you. You should watch on YouTube. But yeah, like some of those pendant lights, so you can have like heaps of like gloomy shadows and that. Like, try and replicate the appearance of deep water, even though it's obviously not going to be that deep. But make it look like that, so you get like the random beams of light and everything. And then just keep like the frontoses pretty much by themselves. Realistically, maybe like some synodontis or like a big old pleco or something, but like really just keeping it to the frontoses. And you'd want it to be like a real quiet, laid back kind of still thing. So like you have it maybe in your home office or something, or somewhere where there's not many people around. And you just kind of like sit there and like with the lights off, and it's real quiet, real gloomy, real peaceful. Really trying to replicate the deepness, like the deep water kind of vibe. So yeah, that's what I'd like. I think that'd be pretty awesome. It would of course be problematic, like frontoses getting spooked every 5 seconds, but that's why you have it where there's not many people around.
Or you have it in a room where they can see people coming. So that's the key with them, is if they can see people coming, they're all good. You don't just appear around the corner and spook the crap out of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, sweet. So what would you guys do?
I'd roll with either an 8x2x2 or maybe a 9x2x2. So something ginormous.
Yeah.
Probably a similar lighter color, more natural color substrate sand, maybe like a grayish sort of thing. So it's not too bright, not too dark, if that kind of makes sense. But again, trying to replicate like you are deeper water. A couple of bigger rocks scattered about, and I would put a piece or two of rather large wood in there as well, just as a different focal point to rocks.
And obviously without any sharp points on it, because if they spook, they might impale themselves, and that would not be fun. Yeah,
just like a rounded driftwood, sort of like just a couple of big chunks that are almost just sort of dropped in there.
And you could use them strategically to like to break up the tank too, so that like if one male was being stroppy, there's some space for the other ones to sort of hide and stuff, and break up the territory a little bit.
Yeah, I'd try and keep the top 3/4 open entirely, so it's just that little bit at the bottom. And I'd probably chuck some synodontis of some description on the bottom as well, as far as catfish goes. And that'd probably be me. Try and keep the water as crystal clear, and like Cam was saying, pendant lighting to get that sort of shimmer going, and just trying to replicate deeper water, just letting them be themselves in a big body of water. These big water cows doing cow things.
Yep, pretty much.
Doing cow things, apart from the fact they do not eat vegetables. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cannibal cows.
If we had those cool Tanganyikan and rainbow fish, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feather fins.
But we don't.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Just a big body of open water.
And if we were allowed Vallisneria, it would be cool to do a Vallisneria backdrop too.
I'm allowed Vallisneria.
Just get some of the rubber Vallisneria.
I'm allowed it. I don't need to be a rubber Vallisneria. I can use it. I'm just not going to.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you guys. Big tank, big ass colony, species only, subdued lighting, maybe a couple of like little spotty lighting type things to highlight a couple of areas to see, but it would be mainly blue lighting, like quite subdued lighting to sort of enhance the blue, and then the deepness of the water and stuff, round rocks, and
How would Shelley's go with them?
I'd love them for a little while.
I reckon that'd be fine.
Because like the bigger fish, tiny little fish, like they can dart into shells pretty easily. I wouldn't see the shellies attacking the frontosa, and they should be small
And
enough.
Aussie probably would give it a go. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. In the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things, they're not really going to do much.
I reckon the shellies would be fine. They'll just hang out right next to the shell and dart away if they need to.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be fine.
It would depend. It would depend where the shellies slept. If the shellies went into their shells and slept, and the frontosas didn't realise that and try and eat the shell to get the shelly out, because frontosas get big and natural nighttime predators. But if the shellies sleep out in the open, they'll just get eaten. Would be my
yeah, definitely.
Because frontosa, being nocturnal predators, will wake up before them and hunt in low light when everything else is asleep and just go and eat them all. And the frontosa is probably big enough to crunch up a shell and get a shell out of it.
Would they crunch shells to get fish out of them?
If they realised they were in there, I think they probably would. So I think probably it'd be a risk, but hey,
Proceed.
Be cool if it worked out.
It would be cool because you could have something little and something big.
Yeah, contrasting sizes and colours and different points of the tank and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Then you could have a shell bed down one end with the shellies. It'd be quite cool.
I reckon it would work out. I reckon you could do it.
What you could do is have the tank with different depths. So you have a shallow area right up the top with all your shellies in like 20 centimeters of water, and then it steps down to the deep water where all the frontosa are, and the frontosa can't get up and eat them.
That'd be cool. You'd need a stupid big tank to do that.
And you have the sump underneath the blacked out and underneath the deep, the shallow area. So it's all in one tank.
I guess we've got an idea for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll have to be like 3 meters long because it'll take you 1.5 meters to actually make the depth happen.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be worth it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sounds good.
Cool.
Sweet as.
I've got to move, so we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. I see
like
30
and subscribe.
people. 30 people have liked us or rated us on Spotify. So
much appreciated, everybody.
And then obviously not all 1 stars, but there must be some haters out there because we only got.
I'm amazed that we've got 30 people that listen to us.
Yeah, I'm amazed that your bots have managed. You figured out how to make bots that'll vote 30 times or rate someone 30 times.
Man, I can't even work out how to turn a pin on half the time. I haven't worked out how to do anything with a bot.
Cool. We'll update you guys next time on the listener that's going to get a tattoo. So that'll be interesting.
Sounds good.
Right. See ya.
All right. See ya.
See ya.